Hey, I'm Todd Brown, and I make these videos because I want you to rip on race day. The burnout problem. Well, I had intended to write about the virtues of time off, but I wound up grinding for 9 hours straight from sun up, and I was on my way to sundown trying to catch up after the road trip I've been on. My output was dwindling, the sun broke through, and a battle ensued. On the left hand, we have the 14 days of riding in a row, 6 of them racing. And on the right hand, sitting in my office grinding on my way to sundown. Honestly, my body really wanted to rest, but my soul longed to get outside. I know you know the feeling. So I can definitely burn out on racing and for sure on training with an agenda. I have had multiple coaches over the years, and I've said, hey, I'm good for 10 weeks, so we can chat in between now and then and stay in touch, but I'm not going to be on a schedule. So that's just me, right? I just can't race too much, and I can't be too rigid. But there is nothing more rejuvenating mentally and even spiritually and socially than just getting out on 2 wheels. So I kitted up, I kept my heart rate low, tapped lightly on the pedals, and it's just good to be home. It felt good to ride around the neighborhood and see some of the trails I love. So there are some really fun and good races coming up in the next 6 weeks, and this is the problem. This weekend is Team Big Bear's endurance race, which I'd planned to do. The Sagebrush Safari is the next weekend. The U.S. Cup is coming to town with all the pros, and there'll be should be some really good competition in the XC races for me. After that is the State Road Race. It's back on the original course, and I love that course. It's called SLR, San Luis Rey. Then the weekend after that is BWR San Diego. I've never done the San Diego version. I already downgraded from the waffle to the wafer. And then the following weekend is Sea Otter, the Fuego XC, which is 68 miles. So I've already signed up for 5 of those 6 races because each one that I learned about seemed better than the others that I'd already committed to. So last weekend was my A race for the first half of the year, and I didn't really plan on ramping things back up until summer for Marathon Nationals in September. I thought I'd do some of these events in spring for fun, but not 6. And then that road race popped up, and I got to take a crack at that. My fitness is pretty good. Then I heard about the U.S. Cup, and how can I pass on that level of competition? So right now, looking at this calendar behind me, it seems daunting to even just race them all. And I'll definitely burn out if I treat them all as A races. So that's completely impossible and off the table. I can pick one and do the rest for fun and practice. Even then, there's a fair amount of travel and ensuing and chaos that always goes along with packing up and getting the equipment dialed in perfectly and ready to go, which means I will probably skip 1 or 2 of those races I've already signed up for and definitely roll in on a half-ready bike. The key to not burning out is to keep it light and get myself in a headlock if I waver for one moment and commit to more than one of those races being an A race. Which one will it be? I don't know, honestly. We'll just have to wait and see how I'm feeling as I roll on. Maybe I'll just see them all out. Which reminds me, I got a really great email today from a guy that gets it. And I want to try and share that with you. I'm just going to look it up real quick here. So it was from my good friend John. And I had asked him how Cactus Cup went for him. And just check this out, because there's a level of maturity here that is unattained by many racers. So he said the actual race results were disappointing. However, these were C races, and we, coach and I, were working on developing energy systems, and race results were secondary. As training races, it was a successful weekend. My A races are coming up in May in New Mexico. And to which I replied, I love that you have the proper perspective on B and C races. It takes a long time to figure that out. And it also takes a ton of humility to just show up and say, this is not my best. Maybe I'm have a high level of fatigue in my legs because I'm building. Who knows? There's a million things that can go wrong. But if you will commit, when we commit, I should say, to treat the B and C races for what they are, then we can do what he did, which is practicing on his energy systems. Maybe it's bike setup. There's a million things you could practice in a B and C race. Maybe it's a strategy. If we'll do those things and treat those races appropriately, we can actually astound ourselves on the A races. Not always, but yeah, sometimes. So there you have it. Make it a great day. Hey everybody, these podcasts and vlogs are new for Pedal Industries, so if you're enjoying them, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks so much. Keep challenging yourself.